Hey there, my name is Pravus, and welcome back to more Settlement Survival. We are playing with our Easter Island Challenge run. In the last video, we made some good progress. We finished setting up our first statue. Now we have carved and moved the second one. We are setting that up, and it's only year 13. So it only took us about a year and a half to get this thing carved. It'll probably take about another year and a half or so just to get this set up. We've already learned the hard way that it's pretty difficult to get people to actually build this stuff as fast as you want them to, but oh well. Anyway, otherwise though, really good progress across the board as far as lots of resources. Everything here is looking very, very solid. One thing that makes me sad is we set up the advanced bedding shop only for me to then realize, oh wait, you needed to have feathers or wool. That requires ducks, geese, or sheep. I don't have any of those, nor any way of getting them, so I have, technically speaking, no way of getting bedding, which means I have no way of getting hospitals. That I know of, anyway. Which is really, really unfortunate. Now, maybe, just maybe, at some point, we will be able to get some docks and start trading with merchants as they come by, order some feathers or some bedding, I don't really care, and get some hospitals going that way. That's certainly one good option. Unfortunately, it's going to be a while before I have any access to our trading friends, because I'm pretty sure you have to finish like 4 or 5 statues before that becomes an option. So, yeah, this is going to be useless for a while. Now, I am going to go ahead and research the pharmacy. The pharmacy will allow us to process herbs and honey or fat into medicinal oils or ointments, which we can then process into a special medicine. Not sure we need this at this exact moment, but it does seem like something that would be useful. Also, we learn how to treat airborne diseases better. Unfortunately, I don't think this does anything for me until we have a hospital. Let's see, airborne, yeah, there it is, the pandemic flu type. Until we actually have a hospital built, we can't do this. But once we have hospitals, we'll be able to treat these very, very quickly. That'll be helpful when we eventually get to the point of having plagues. Let's also go over to here, place down a pharmacy. I want 1 for now. We might want more than that later, but 1 should be okay for the moment. And over here in our soap workshop, something I forgot to do is we can start making some medical soap. This takes herbs and soap, which we already have some of, so I'll go ahead and swap one of these guys over here. Start making some of that medical soap. Now, medical soap is just objectively better than regular soap as far as healing, but the real reason we want this stuff is our bathhouses. If you click on this, we have a remodel option, and if we can get 50 medical soap, we can upgrade this thing, so even if we're using regular soap from here on out, just the bathhouse gives everyone in its radius more health. It's just passively more health. So all I need is 50 of that medical soap per bathhouse, and then boom, we're gonna be finding ourselves much, much healthier. Now, the pharmacy is built. There's a lot of stuff you can get over here, all of which can be pretty useful, but unfortunately, the stuff I really want is medical alcohol. But for medical alcohol, you need to have cotton, and also bandages, which also take cotton in a couple different forms of cotton, processed and non. So until we can get cotton, which I don't know if we ever can in this scenario, maybe from trading, but I don't think so, medical alcohol to boost up my clinics and hospitals isn't going to be an option for us. I guess I can start making some medicinal oil, which is going to increase health, I think. There's also going to be the ointment, which can also increase health. The difference is, do I want to use honey and leather, or do I want to use fat and herbs? At the end of the day, I think I have plenty of fat. Could be wrong on that point. Let's just check fat. Yeah, I got 15,000 fat! Frick me. All right, yeah, no, we've been really loading up on the fat. There's a load of calories sitting in all that. Cool. Please use up the fat. Use the fat and make medicinal oil. Now, you might say, oh, but you're using up your herbs. Yeah, so I'm using up my herbs to get medicinal oil to boost up people's health instead of them just using the raw herbs and getting less health, but still using up my herbs. It's more effective to have medicinal oil. We like medicinal oil, so that's what I'm going to make. Oh, no, an administrator's term has expired. Yeah, we could try to bring this person back, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be an option for us. No reappointment because we don't have a bunch of coins. So, what else do we want to do? We could go for livability proficiency or interval between procreation. How is that supposed to work exactly? When you think about it. I actually kind of like both of these a lot. So boosting up my livability could be pretty helpful. We could get extra max vitality and maximum stamina, which is great. Alternatively, more babbies? We have enough food and water to support larger population. That's not so much the issue, though clothing might be a little bit tricky. That said, we've also got a pretty huge population boom already on the way, so I think I'm going to go for the livability. Let's go ahead and boost that sucker up, so now we are at level 2, so max vitality and stamina goes up by 20% each. That's excellent. Guess I might as well spend some points upgrading things like the quarries and stuff. That is something I still wanted to do. Can find jade in stone and then use that. Man, it would be kind of nice to find jade, wouldn't it? But I need toolkits for that. What is this? Remodel gears. Advanced formulas of gears from forges used for some stuff. Yeah. If we're gonna have traders someday, it would be nice to be able to trade with them, but oh well. So here come a couple more administrators. What else we got? Output of gathering structures or movement speed? Gathering structures aren't as important to me as movement, so we'll do that. Stress reduction or, hey, Anne's back. What do you know? Cheaper construction, please. Thank you. I also totally forgot that I wanted to upgrade my smithies. We have the steel and timber and stuff. Let's go ahead and do that. Shut her down! Upgrade the smithies! We need better tools and stuff. Actually, you know what? Cancel with you. I think we just demolish straight out. Just straight up demolish it. Don't even rebuild this thing. Because I want to reorient this. There's a lot of wasted space over here. If there's anything I hate, it's wasted space. I mean, I'm also the king of wasting lots of space. I am a waste of space, but that's aside the point. If we can make it a little bit better, we absolutely should, shouldn't we? Now let's see, do we want to make iron tools still, or would we rather make it the steel tools? I prefer the steel. Steel is obviously better. More durable, so it lasts a bit longer. There's other things we could eventually work on. Hand carts. Man, that would transfer resources around a lot faster, wouldn't it? Traps, hardwood tools? Huh, I don't know if I've ever worked on hardwood tools. Also, swords. Interesting. Anyway, yeah, forget the stone tools and stuff. Let's just go ahead and start making nothing but steel tools from here on out. We might as well. The higher quality goods. Let's also start making more of the down jackets. I want lots of those. How are we doing on clothing? We got yeah, a combination of the two. 380 in total. I was hoping that I was going to find out that we had 383 regular clothes and then like 200 down jackets, but no. That is not the way of things. Oh well. Better clothing though, you know, just makes for happier people. They can stay out in the cold a lot longer. Gosh, I placed down a stockpile and this thing gets filled up immediately. All of my warehouses are like completely bursting at the seams. We are rolling in freaking resources right now. It's not even funny, dude. God, there's something unsettling about the way the alpacas are all hanging out. It looks like a many-headed monster. Look at this thing. It's horrible. Someone kill it with fire, for God's sake. Whoa, fire. Fire? Where? A fire broke out. I didn't even notice this over here. We've got our first round of disasters, ladies and gentlemen, right over here. Okay, so people should be able to put it out. I mean, I see a lot of people going into a burning building. That seems brilliant. Okay, yep, so congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. We have our first natural disasters. Fires are gonna be fairly mild, all things concerned. There are far, far worse to come. Oh, we're getting so close to finishing up the second statue. All right, it took maybe a year longer than I thought. This just takes forever, dude. It really does. This is going a lot faster than the last one we did, but man, it's really hard to get enough builders down here, and I'm trying really hard. I feel like, for some reason, the game simply doesn't calculate, or recalculate, I guess, the most efficient job placement for people. In Banish, at least, I feel like it was a little bit better at that. If you were to place down some houses next to particular jobs, it almost always would shift. Whoever lived in there would change jobs to match, you know, whatever the local jobs are, whatever's closest, and then it would just kind of try to optimize your town that way, right? Seems like these guys aren't trying to do that in settlement survival. There's probably a way to trick it, right? Like I could empty some houses, right? If I pause, empty houses, turn this on, then allow the houses to repopulate, maybe it would work? I don't know. There might be a trick. I'm not sure what that trick would be, if there is a trick, but there might be a trick. I'm willing to concede that possibility. Regardless, I would love to see a bit more control on that, because I feel like I'm kind of wasting my time and banging my head against a wall, building the town further out to the east if it's not actually going to do me a whole lot of good, you know what I mean? That's a little unfortunate. Anyway, something else I researched down over here is going to be the leatherware hut. And the reason I want this is specifically to make leather shoes. I don't give a crud about fine handbags, that's just stupid. Who needs that? Leather boots? Don't feel like I need these either, though this is from refined leather. If we got this, would be even better than leather shoes. But regardless, this will be nice, and it boosts up movement speed. All I gotta do is use up all my leather, for which I have told my tailors to stop using up leather and instead start using exclusively linen. and alpaca wool, so that I will be able to start building up as many of these as possible. It'd be very, very nice to have everyone moving even faster. Right now, I currently have more toolkits than I know what to do with. So we could start spending some of these, trying to reinforce certain buildings. For example, go over here to the warehouse. No, that's just for an expansion. What about things like, let's say, the interim housing? What the heck? Puppies! There are puppies? The heck? Man, I didn't even know that was a thing. We could place down some of this, though, for example. And what this would do is ensure that even if some tornado or something comes through and destroys a bunch of houses, this thing will always stand, I think anyway. And people will have some sort of emergency housing to go to. That could be a thing. We'll probably want to do something kind of similar with something like clinics, right? Because if there is some sort of an emergency, then I don't want to worry about these things getting destroyed and then I can't treat people and we run into some sort of a giant death spiral. Oh, okay, that must mean the second statue just completed because we got the next advance in our story. The Plague of Rats. Without enemies, the rats on the island are rapidly multiplying. As a result, the fruit trees cannot produce food and the rats are eating the tree seeds. Would you consider eating rat meat? All right, so here's some options. We can say yes. And what this is going to do is make it so that hunting huts are going to be capturing and killing rats instead of other animals now. Or maybe it's just a chance of getting rats instead of other animals. It's something like that. Every time we catch some rats, we can eat them. But then whoever eats it is going to see their health decrease, which sucks. The problem is if we don't do this, then the growth rate of trees and plants is going to decrease, which we really do not want. So I'm going to allow this. Now you have oh, God, there's all the rats. Frickin' rats, look at them. They're everywhere. All right. Anyway, so the thing is, you have a couple ways around this. One, turn off all the hunters' huts. Don't use them for the rest of the game. That's honestly not even a terrible idea because it's not like I'm relying on this for food or anything, or fat for that matter. Leather I would like, but that's kind of it. So we could turn these off. Or if you do what I did and build up the barbecue house, right, we can come over here and say all rats must get converted into roasted rat meat. This means that people are not going to take any damage to their health. So whenever we capture a rat, no one eat it, please. Let these guys deliver it to the barbecue and grill it up, right? Then you'll be fine. Then you'll be safe. I'm only going to have one worker. Hayden is the rat cooker. That's going to be his job for the rest of his pathetic little life. So yeah, it's either that or you lose a lot of your farming potential, and worst of all, your trees. And really, at some point, that's kind of no choice at all. So at least there's a way around it. God, it's even worse when the rats all come together. They formed a king rat. Look at this. It looks like some sort of a alien spider or something in my fields. Ugh. Oh, and our population has grown enough that apparently we can get another administrator. Well, the interval between merchant ships would be tempting, except, well, it comes with downsides, so we probably don't want that. Maximum warmth, I guess, is okay. I don't really know what that does for us exactly. I guess it means that whenever they go to their house, their individual meter for temperature right here can go up even higher. So I guess I can stay out in the cold longer before they have to go into a house. That's the same as just a work efficiency increase during the winter months. So it's worth it to me. Why don't I want shorter merchant ships? Well, one, we don't yet have a dock, and no way of getting one until we finish up some more statues. So there's really no point in doing that, right? That's number one. Two, when those ships come, as you will eventually see, they have a tendency to bring plagues with them. And that's no bueno. We do not like that. One thing I overlooked, when we are using the barbecue house, we actually have to have some domestic fuel, which pretty much means I need to have a sawmill. I had retired that for the most part in favor of the coal, but now we're going to need domestic fuel. The problem with this, of course, is I don't think it's possible to forbid people from using certain resources for their own personal consumption. So there's a chance that we're going to be producing domestic fuel and then people are going to grab it to heat their homes and it's not going to go where I need it to go. Oh, wait a minute. There is a way to ban this. Hold up. Okay, ban the use of medical soap. Oh, huh. I've never messed with this before. Okay, so if you go to the statistics over here, you can go to stock management and find specific breakdowns of resources, and there's a ban option. Oh, see, okay, cool. I love it when I complain about a problem, because I apparently am too dumb to know it exists, but then I solve my own problem, right? That's problem solving. That's thinking with portals right there. All right, let's actually go to food. Rough food. And then is there raw rat on here somewhere? There dang well better be. Hang on, raw rats, because we can ban that for absolute sure. Huh, I actually don't see it anywhere on here. That's interesting. I wonder if it's a unique resource just for this scenario and therefore it was never added into the town details graph mode? Maybe? I don't know. One thing we can do, though, is go to the statistics, and we can go to the stock management, and under fuel, we can prioritize the usage of coal, specifically. So people will prefer to use coal rather than use up the domestic fuel that we are going to need in order to make all of the roast rat meat. Perfect. That's what I had in mind. What's this? I see another disaster on the way. Snowstorm. Temperature is going to drop to extremely low levels. Warm clothes are necessary to work outside. All right, that just means that max warmth is going to be dropping, or rather warmth is going to be used up at a higher rate. The fact that we increased our maximum warmth actually should help offset that a little bit. And the fact that I have been creating down clothes should help with that a lot as well. Let's stop making the rough clothes. Let's only make the down jackets from here on out. We got enough alpaca wool coming in. We should have enough leather and stuff that we could do both. Plus, there's going to be linen and whatever else. So this should be okay. Also, I just went down the rest of the agriculture tree over here through fodder, eco-pastures, and then animal slaughter, which means we're actually going to get even more non-meat products from our animals. In fact, we doubled it. So we should be getting a lot more leather, and we should be getting things like a lot more... I don't know if we actually get... No, slaughter's only going to get things like fat. So basically what we just did is boosted up our leather production. Okay, I was going to say we might have boosted up our alpaca wool, but it doesn't look like that's the case. That's fine, though. I'm not worried about that. Finally upgraded my bathhouses with the medical soap, by the way. Also reinforced these since we've already invested them. Let's make sure that they are indestructible. The result being, for at least a moment, I saw our health go up to another bar over here, which is great. So the higher this goes, the less stamina we consume, the more people can work. Turns out a very healthy population can basically just work until they drop. Also, our fertility rate's at 99%. Frick me. We are super fertile. The third statue is built up, or at least carved anyway. And like before, we need a whole bunch of timber and a whole bunch of rope to move it over there. No problem. I'm sitting on 17,000 timber. Okay. You know what? Temporarily, at least. Let's reduce the number of workers who are gathering lumber. This has been getting, shall we say, a little ridiculous for a while. This one, for example, honestly, just get rid of it. I don't even know if we need it. Same with the apiary and the gatherer's hut. Why do we even have these things over here? You know what? Commitment. We're just going to get rid of this entirely. We need space to continue growing. We need a little bit of elbow room. And here comes the snowstorm. Bit of a freak event, I would say, in Easter Island. But okay, yeah, that's a lot of cold people. Oh, man. Oh, man alive. Okay. What's the problem here? We don't have any workers assigned to a few places. Some things appear to be getting shut down. No, some people are just not being assigned to jobs when they should be. It's a little weird, but all right. So yeah, a lot of people getting cold. Let's take a look at that temperature. Wow, that fell apart really fast. Yeah, anyone who's wearing rough clothes is going to be in for a very bad time. Let's keep an eye on how fast that drops. That's pretty quick. Yep. Okay. My recommendation, don't stray far from town for at least a while. I don't know how long this is going to last, but don't go very far, because it is freaking cold out there. New livestock acquired. Cattle. Yes. I do think getting cattle unlocked would be great. We've now moved the third statue, so now we have to get working on this. So that's a new form of livestock. We absolutely need to be getting that up and running ASAP. I would be tempted to place down a regular pasture. However, if I'm willing to wait until I get one more tech point, which shouldn't be very long from now, we could get the corral, which increases yield by 50% for all non-horse and donkey animals. Well, it's May. It says the temperature's going... Okay, yes, the snow is finally starting to thaw away. Okay, that lasted a long time. That lasted a very long time. Credit where it's due. Holy cram. Yeah, let's not have to deal with that ever again, please. What's this? Yield from fields increases by 30% in harvest years. Oh, we actually have a good event coming up. Well, what do you know? That feels pretty nice. Wow, got a lot brighter all of a sudden now, didn't it? All right, well, we got people working over here. I'm going to go ahead and turn back on these building huts since we seem to have enough spare laborers. Our population appears to be finally catching up with where I wanted it to be, which is very good. Very good indeed. Still waiting on that tech point. Really hope that the dang cows don't go away or die or anything. That would feel really bad. But at the end of the day, I also am not, like, desperate for the cows or anything, so it's not a huge deal. But having milk might open up, like, 1 or 2 other production chains. Exactly which ones they'd open up kind of escapes me at the moment, though. There's the tech point I was looking for. Excellent. Let's get that corral up and running before I forget about it. Now we can place one. And it's got to be a specific size. I forgot about that. Okay. Well, I can't fit 2 over here, unfortunately. Barely, but okay. What about 1 over here? Nope, that ain't gonna work either. Okay, where do I want to place a corral? We will there's a mountain in the way. We will place a corral right over here. Takes ropes, bricks, and planks. No problem, though. I don't know how many animals we can realistically fit in this thing, since it is otherwise relatively small, but it should be enough to hold at least a handful of little coos. There's the corral. We will set this for cattle. Beef, leather, fat, and dung. So it's really not that different from the buffalo, I suppose. That's probably fine. We can set up some iron tools to be used over here to boost up efficiency a little bit, and I'll even make it indestructible to make sure that our cows don't accidentally get collapsed upon and die. Horrible, horrible deaths. So I don't know how many cows we get out of this. Did we get only 1? If we got only 1, then this thing probably ain't gonna be, I mean, we can't find a second cow. So what good is this really gonna do me now that I think about it? If it gave me a breeding pair, that'd be one thing. 1 cow, I mean, these ain't gonna procreate by, like, by budding or anything, so, yeah, maybe this was a total waste of my time. Whatever. At least we got this. Oh, man, really starting to cook with some gas now. All right, this didn't take too long, only a good few months or so. We made a lot of progress on this statue. This shouldn't take more than, like, another 2 or 3 months. You might think that this would be cause for celebration, that we got another statue done so quickly, but not really, because this is where things suddenly start getting a lot harder. And things could turn against us very, very quickly, because after the 3rd statue, natural disasters are going to be an option again. All of them, including things like tornadoes and sandstorms. How you get a sandstorm over in Easter Island, I don't really know, but that's a thing. Anyway, now we have an event, construction fever. So we could have propagation of religious beliefs and double the construction speed of statues, which sounds really tempting, doesn't it? Except if we do that, every month, some workers will drop dead. And I don't think that I have children graduating school at enough of a rate to justify this. I mean, maybe, if we're willing to just go ahead and just say, this is the end, we're going to go as fast as we can and let our population start to dwindle down bit by bit, then sure, but I think this might become death by 1,000 cuts. So I have to say no to this, even though doubling the speed of these statues is really, really tempting. It's just not worth it right now. It's just not worth it. I don't have enough population growth that is consistent enough to justify it. Question: how did I get a second cow? No, really. How did I get a second cow? It is almost as if it did actually reproduce. Asexually, I guess? No, wait, no, what's the word for it? There's a word for it. Anyway, mitosis? No, it split. It split like a freaking bacterium. All right, this is the most terrifying cow I think I've ever seen in my life. All hail the cow. Unless by getting that advisor, there are other cows that, like, somehow appeared on the island. I don't think so, though. The great harvest has come. Guess what? We already finished harvesting everything, so it's pointless. Yep. Oh, well. What is this? Oh, gosh. An animal plague is also on the way to spread to and kill animals in a pasture. Yep. Okay, so this is where we need to make sure that we have some animals spread out between lots of different corrals, because keeping them all alive is going to be a bit of a trick. So, with that in mind, yeah, let's plan on at least a couple of corrals off in this direction. We'll go ahead and have these nice and separated from the group. Some turkeys, some buffalo, and some alpaca, all saved over there. If the cows die, I'm going to feel kind of silly, but it's also not a huge deal if they do. Cows were always kind of a bonus, and they don't produce anything that really matters that much to me. But if I were to lose things like all my buffalo and alpacas and stuff, you know, we can repopulate that, so I don't mind building for the future with these in mind. And this is going to quickly build up like 50% extra yield on all of them, so this will translate into a lot of extra food as well. Not that I'm having even the slightest problem with food. We are producing ridiculous amounts of it, but I digress. I haven't been spending my tech points as of late. I've unlocked everything in the education front, so we've got all the disease resistance we can get there. We could start learning about things like jade, maybe, or gears. We could work toward brick roads. It would take a lot of bricks, but it would allow me to get a little bit more movement speed on some folks. Not a bad idea. There's also rebuilding over here, so a damaged or destroyed building can get rebuilt automatically as long as you have the resources for it, which basically exists just to, like, save me micromanagement. Pretty much nothing else, really. Bread shop. See, if only we could get butter. Butter comes from a butter workshop. A butter workshop, huh? Have I not got the ability to make butter? If I could make butter using my cows and stuff, we could actually make some like bread and butter and stuff, and that would actually be a way of making some oat bread plus stuff to get more food. But why am I worried about that? It's not like we're having any trouble with food at the moment, so maybe we don't care about that too much. Housing upgrades. If there's anything that would greatly improve the durability of my buildings, I think that would have to be a good priority. We could also go for things like pottery and just start learning how to make things that maybe we could sell when we do unlock the trade ships so we can get more silver and buy more stuff. That said, I can also offload many thousands and thousands of stuff. So I guess I don't care that much. Let's get the gear. And then let's get the bridge building and the brick road, all right? I don't care about these luxury avenues, although we could make that out of gold sand or jade or something. Good lord, that seems so unnecessarily opulent. But regardless, here's the brick roads. Let's create at least a handful of major highways kind of going off in these directions. This takes bricks and a fair bit of it to boot, but that's fine as long as people are able to get around really fast. I also think it's very important that we spend some bricks making it very easy for people to get up to this cellar over here. Because remember, on the off chance we find ourselves facing some sort of a massive crisis, a huge storm of some sort, we need people to be able to get over here fast. There's the fire. Oh, okay, right over here in the residential area, and we immediately put it out. Yeah, fires don't scare me that much. Fires, we can handle. Plagues, for humans and for animals, that's gonna be a pain. Tornadoes? Yeah, a hurricane would be pretty dang bad for us. Nonetheless, though, we're getting really close to that point. So far, none on the horizon. Let's hope it stays that way. I'm pretty sure it's random what negative events you're going to have up here, so it's not scripted so far as I'm aware. Statue number 4 is making some really good progress. It's at 83% as far as carving, and then of course we have more than enough resources sitting around that we would be able to use to drop things off in the log pile and move it. Then, once again, we have to turn on a whole bunch of building jobs down over this direction and get this thing set up, but we're getting really close. I mean, this is only taking me like 3 or 4 years at this point per statue. So it's totally feasible to believe that around year, let's say 34-ish, somewhere around there, maybe earlier, we could totally be done with this scenario, assuming nothing goes horribly, horribly, horribly wrong. And that is not a guarantee that it won't. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.